Good evening, my lovelies. Welcome along to another rant. I hope you're all well. Hope you're all safe and keep doing what you need to keep doing. I thought I'd just jump on here, talk about a couple of things. One's not so much a rant, and the other two really are. I'll start with the first one. The Just Stop Oil protesters just literally causing chaos, criminal damage, stopping people just trying to get to work, stopping people getting into hospital, stopping ambulances getting through, stopping deliveries getting through, all in the name of something that they have no real understanding of. They've got no understanding of basic economics, and that what they're proposing ain't going to happen. But they still keep plugging away. And our police just sit back and let them do it. Maybe arrest some of them sometimes. But I was quite interested to read that a similar kind of group in Germany glued their hands to the floor in a VW car dealership. And you know what the Germans done to combat what they did? Went about their normal day's business, finished for the day, turned all the lights off, turned the heating down, went out, locked the door, left them there. Come back in the morning, they're all kicking off. It was freezing cold. It was dark. We never had any bowls left out for us to go to the toilet. That kind of thing. Well, tough luck. You chose to do what you done. And in actual fact, it turns out that if you're in a cold room and you glue your hands to the floor, it's not very good for your circulation. So a couple of them had to go to hospital with problems to do with their circulation. But it's of their own doing. You act like a moron and glue yourself to the fucking floor or somewhere. That's what's going to happen. And the Germans hit it, bang, nailed it. Don't do anything. Go about your business as normal. Leave them there. Leave the fuckers there. Like these idiots on the gantries at the M25. Leave them there. Fucking leave them there. If it's windy and they get rained on and they get soaked and whatever, their fault. They put themselves in that position. I understand drivers getting out their cars and dragging these people off the road and all these people saying, oh, it's not right, it's inhumane, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. If your job depends on you getting somewhere on time, and if you don't get there on time, you lose money, dickheads sitting in the middle of the road with a rucksack on their back, they're just going to piss you off. You are going to get out of your cab of your lorry and drag them out. If you're taking an ill relative to the hospital and you can't get through because these stupid morons are fucking sitting in the middle of the tarmac, you are going to get out and drag them off. My worry is that someone's going to completely fucking lose it and the red mist is going to descend and someone's just going to go, do you know what, if you're sitting in the middle of the road, I'm just going to fucking carry on driving and just drive straight through them, plough through them and injure someone seriously. You've got to pick the way that you protest, and you've got to pick whether what you're protesting you can actually make a difference. I know everyone's got the right to protest. However, you've got to pick the way that you do it, and you've got to think to yourself, are we ever going to get into a situation where our protesting is going to change things? And from there, what they're protesting about, it ain't going to happen. So I really do see that someone's going to get hurt. One of these protesters is going to get hurt doing this, or they're going to upset someone, they're going to damage something that causes too much emotion. It's bad enough they're going in Madame Tussauds and throwing things at statues of the royal family. It's bad enough that they're going into art galleries and throwing soup and stuff over priceless works of art. But they're going to pick a target one day and it's going to cause too much emotion. And I think someone's just going to fucking lose it. And then they'll be the ones that get in trouble. It'll be the police that come down on them, not these morons. And I noticed something about these protesters. They all seem to be from a kind of similar background, very kind of, upper middle class, still living at home with mum and dad, don't work for a living, never going to have to work for a living. Everything's going to be paid for. Very kind of entitled, very kind of, that kind of generation of entitlement. Everything should be given to them, come from privilege. And then you find out things like that when they finish for the day and they go home for the day, they get in a car and drive home, and you think, oh, fuck off. Or they all get in a minibus that's pumping diesel into the air, or they all get on a bus and get home. They don't walk home. They're not cycling home. So what is the point of them moaning when they're still part of the problem because they're using transportation that's causing climate change and it's causing an issue? And it just fucks me off. It just really fucks me off that you get they're allowed to do what they do, and the people that are trying to go about their business are the ones that are the villains. And the ones that the police come down on and say to them, well, you shouldn't be dragging them off the road. Well, I'm sorry, but if I had somewhere to go and I'm going to lose money, or if I had a relative that I'm taking somewhere who's poorly and I need to get him to a doctor, I need to get him to a hospital, and one of those fuckers is in my way, they're getting dragged off. They're getting dragged out of the road. And I'll get that rucksack that's on their backpack and I'll kick it and punt it as far as I fucking can. Hopefully with them still attached to it. So yeah, that's my stance on that. The other thing, you're going to be probably very surprised by my opinion on this. Matt Hancock going into I'm a Celebrity. Everyone's losing their shit over this and saying, it's wrong, and how can someone who was responsible for thousands of people dying be allowed to be in a position to earn £400,000? Now, you would expect that I'm going to sit here and say, this is outrageous, this is wrong, he shouldn't be doing it. I've got to be honest, I don't give a shit. I couldn't care that he's in it, because I think at the moment there's far more better things that I could channel my frustration towards. And these people that are going online and putting these petitions together, and people that reckon that they're going to go and protest here, there and everywhere, pick your target. Like I just said on the last thing, pick proper, decent targets. We are being royally fucked over by the government with tax, with them not jumping in and stopping the energy companies from fucking us. They're not jumping in and stopping the petrol companies from fucking us. They're going to make us pay more tax so that we can pay more money towards climate change. All the while we're getting fucked over. Us taxpayers are getting fucked over left, right and centre. But no one's protesting about that. But everyone wants to go and protest about an ex-MP going into the jungle because apparently he's responsible for all the people that died of COVID. No, he fucking isn't. Yes, he was part of the government that didn't do enough, that could have stopped it in the early days, but he's not directly responsible. If he was directly responsible, he'd be going to prison. But he's not directly responsible. Don't forget, he's just a puppet. He's just someone that they put out there that he was the health secretary. It wasn't his decision alone that he made that all went wrong. He was told by the people above him, by Boris and the people around him and advisors. He was told, this is what we're doing. You're the health secretary. Go out and do that and tell the people this and tell the people that. Don't forget, there are other factors as to why certain things went wrong during COVID. It didn't help that loads of fucking morons didn't take it seriously at the beginning. And when they were told, look, just stay out of each other's way, we've got to find a way of containing this, we've got to do that. And people didn't. They just carried on as if there was nothing wrong. Then we had all the issues saying that, having the vaccine is going to make you grow 2 fucking heads and stuff like that. And you had all these horror stories, because one person in 2 million had a bad reaction to it, so now everyone is. It was all things like that. There was loads of factors that contributed to that going on a lot longer than it should have done. And MPs themselves breaking their own rules and stuff like that. You've also got to remember that if I'm wrong, please correct me. One Matt Hancock was one of the MPs that did actually get COVID. I think him, Boris, and Chris Whitty, that used to come out and do the talks of an evening, they all caught it. So he's fully aware of how bad it is. Do I think he should go on I'm a Celebrity? I don't care. It would be different if they put a paedophile on there, like a celebrity paedophile or someone. If they say that they stuck Rolf Harris in there or they stuck Stuart Hall in there, then yeah, absolutely, that is an abomination. You can't do that. But if you're going to then say, well, Matt Hancock shouldn't go in there because he's got that in his background, then you can say the same thing about Boy George. Boy George was actually arrested and convicted of kidnapping someone and holding them against their will. Well, it's breaking the law. And I'm pretty certain if you go over the last 20 years of I'm a Celebrity, I bet you can find celebrities that have done things wrong and fallen the wrong side of the law. So yeah, I'm not really in that kind of camp of this is outrageous. I would sooner everyone grabbed their pitchforks and started protesting about the way we're getting fucked over left, right, and centre money-wise. And that the fact that we've got a government that is self-serving. They're just purely there to serve themselves. They're not serving us. They're fucking us over because everything that they're changing doesn't affect them. They don't pay their fuel bills. They claim all their petrol expenses and get it back. They don't have to pay for petrol or diesel in their cars. They don't have to pay the gas bill, electric bill, water bills because it's all paid for them. They claim it on expenses. I've never known in all the time I've been alive a bunch of politicians, and I'm not just saying the government, I'm talking about the opposition as well, that are so fundamentally corrupt and useless and self-serving, and they're only in it for themselves and what they can get for themselves. They're not going to make these companies pay tax because most of them are kind of executive directors on the boards of these companies, and they're not going to do anything to rock the boat because they're getting extra money out of it. It is fucking appalling, but we sit back and we talk like we're doing now. I know I'm a hypocrite, I'm talking and I'm not taking any action, but people do things like, oh, we're all going to go outside the Houses of Parliament and moan about Matt Hancock. No, that isn't the bigger picture. Once in 10 weeks' time, when this is over and done with and finished, or when he gets voted out, it's finished and done. We're still going to be fucked over by the energy companies and the petrol companies and the supermarkets putting things out of all proportion, so everything's a lot dearer than it should be. And no one's stepping in and fighting for us because the government don't give a shit. Politicians don't give a shit because they claim everything on expenses. And they're also rocking up with like 80, 90k a year wages. And then you've got, obviously a lot of politicians now are from privileged backgrounds. They've grown up in money. They've grown up around wealth. So they never had to struggle. They've never had to make any decisions based on, do I heat my property or do I feed my kids? They've never had to do it. When you've got the Prime Minister has got, I know it's, people are going to probably go, no, it doesn't matter, but it does matter. When our now Prime Minister and his wife have got a personal fortune of nearly £800 million, do they really know what it's like to struggle? Can they really connect? Can they really understand what people are going through? No, they can't. And you can guarantee when it rolls around this early next year, when they have to go into the Commons and vote for their pay rise like they had to do, and they gave themselves a 10% pay rise last year, they actually fucking voted for it. They actually had a vote saying, well, should we have a pay rise or not? Who's going to say no? Seriously, who the fuck is going to say no? And so I've never known a bunch of more corrupt politicians and self-serving politicians as all the politicians now. And I mean, across all parties, it's no different with Labour. Keir Starmer again couldn't be more of his finger off the pulse if he tried, because again, he's from privilege and he doesn't understand. And to be honest, he's got the easiest job in the world of any opposition leader. He's got the easiest time now because all he really has to do is say fuck all and watch these clowns make fuck up after fuck up. But we should be really protesting more. We really should be protesting about the things that matter, not stupid things like one man's been put into a game show. Final rant, or I might have one after this, but this one, obviously in a couple of weeks' time, the World Cup's going to be on us, and you get the moaners that say, oh, this is unbelievable, why do we have to have this on the telly all the time, it's outrageous, blah, 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 blah. But these people are also people that watch soap operas, and they're moaning that their soap operas are moved around because of the football. So let's put this in context. The World Cup is every 4 years. Every 4 years. So it's not every year. It's like the Olympics. Every 4 years. Soap operas are on every day of the week, 7 days a week, 12 months a year, 365 days of the year. There's not a day of the week where a fucking soap opera isn't on. Trust me, I know from experience that you can't go a night without a soap opera coming on. So when these people moan that something that comes around 4 years is going to be on the TV for 4 weeks and done, and they're saying how outrageous it is, I don't like soap operas. They piss me off. I don't like them. But I have to put up with the fact that they're on every day of the week across all channels, sometimes one after the other. So you can literally go from 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock, non-stop soap. Now that's overkill. But I put up with that because I know that eventually something's going to come on the TV that I like. And it's the same with the football. The soaps aren't going to be taken off and not come back. They might be moved. They might be put on at different times. You might have to go online and watch them. But it's just for 4 fucking weeks for an event that only comes every 4 years. But these people moan and groan and piss and moan about it. And it really annoys me. It's like, there's not a lot to be happy about at the moment. Everything's kind of turning to shit at the moment. So for people like myself that watch football, it's going to be 4 weeks that we can actually sit and go, do you know what? Let's just watch some of these games of football. Let's watch other countries playing football. Let's get involved in it. Let's get together and come and watch England games together, or Wales games together, or whatever country you follow. All come together, watch football together, have a good laugh. It's a time when we can actually just forget about the shit that's going on now. So, if people are going to moan at me about the World Cup, I just literally say to them, look, I'm sorry, but I don't like soap operas. They're on all the time. I don't like reality TV. I don't like Made in Chelsea. I don't like The Only Way is Essex. I don't like The Real Housewives of I don't give a shit. But they're on all the fucking time. There's a whole channel dedicated to bloody reality TV on ITV, that ITVB. It's a whole fucking channel dedicated to this shit. But I let it go because I think to myself, I don't have to watch it. And it's not going to be a case that BBC and ITV are going to show the same matches at the same time. They're going to take it in turns. So one night ITV will have it on, but BBC won't. And then one night BBC will have it on and ITV won't. So it's not going to be like that these people going into meltdown. It's going to fucking take everything over. So yeah, just fucking ease off. Not everyone likes everything, but sometimes things happen. An event happens, I'm not being funny, but the coverage, the non-stop news coverage, when anything ever bad happens, when someone passes away, like the Queen, I know it was an event, and it was a sad event, and it was a major event, but fuck me, when you've got all 4 channels just literally showing the same things all day long, and you've got nowhere else to go and look. And it's just everywhere. Every channel you turn over to, it's there. That's overkill. But it needed to be done. People felt that they needed to be told every single detail and be told the same thing 50 times over. But we move on from that. And as I say, the World Cup's coming. It should be good. At least it will give hospitality a chance to make some money back. The pubs can make some money while people going down the pub and watching the football together, and any other venues that want to put the football on. Good for them. Get some money back, because times are going to be fucking hard for hospitality over the next kind of year or so, because they're not going to make any money, because we haven't got any money to go in there and spend, because as I said before, we're getting fucked over by the political system, not helping us and not doing enough for us. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. Yeah, it's a bit of a shorter one today, looking at how long this has been. So anyway, I shall jump on here soon when something takes my fancy that I want to have a rant about, or feel free to go on the YouTube site, go on YouTube, like and subscribe, put some comments on my Facebook page, of anything you think I could rant about, something that you think might really kind of boil my piss, so to speak. But other than that, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to head off and probably watch a bit of Antiques Road Trip or something like that tonight. Anyway, so everyone take care. Please all look out for each other. All kind of help each other out. If we come together and work together, we'll get through this together. Okay then, so that's all from me for now. Peace out, my lovelies.